Hi people, TS here, just reviewing our 3-0 victory over Vorskla in the Europa League. Means that we now top the group. I was very impressed with, a lot of the young players, You can see that a lot of them really showed heart, desire, grit. The opposition wasn't the greatest. The team did have to play in some very cold conditions, but at the same time, they got the job done. Looking at the squad that we took out there wasn't really much experience that played. First team experience that played, but the players that did play did a good job. It was good to get the 3-0 victory, although Rowe did actually score a goal which was disallowed. I think they feel that Nketiah encroached on the defender, but other than that, I thought it was a very good performance. It was quite an easy win. Bearing in mind we had quite a makeshift team put together. So bearing that in mind, I'm just going to get into my player ratings. Cech in goal. He didn't really have much to do. Looked kind of decent with the ball at his feet as well. So I'd give him a 6. Right back, Lichtsteiner, I'd give him a 7. Although he wasn't really much tested, you could see his leadership skills, how he was kind of guiding a lot of the younger players through the game. And, I thought he did well. Jenkinson, I'd give a 7 as well. Although he wasn't really tested much in defence, but I thought he played quite well as a centre-half. And, he really adapted to that position well. Not something we expect to see from him on a consistent basis, but for that performance, he definitely deserves a 7. Holding, again, I'd give a 7. Did a job, and then as soon as it was just after half time and that, obviously Emery took him off. Bearing in mind we've got Tottenham at the weekend. Left back, Maitland, Niles, again, not playing in his natural position. I would really love to see him play some games in centre mid. But he looked very well at left back, and I'd give him a 7 out of 10 also. Going into the midfield, Guendouzi, I'd give him an 8. I thought he was excellent in that midfield, and I think him alone is probably one of the reasons why I think the next guy I'm going to do a player rating will be out of the club sooner rather than later. And that player is Elneny, who, he does what it says on the tin, but I think he had a decent game yesterday. Gives it a lot of energy and stuff, but I'd give him a 6. But at the same time, it's clear to see that he's not really a keen favourite from the manager. When you've got players like Guendouzi playing the way he does, Maitland Niles playing the way he does, especially as he's a natural central midfielder, and I can't really see Elneny being at the club for much longer. But that's another video. Going to Joe Willock, got a goal. He had a very good performance. He really played kind of how he's playing for the under-23s. He's getting forward a lot more this season, and his finish was quite Henry-esque, so it was really good. I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Ramsey, I'd give a 7. Got the penalty. I was a bit disappointed that Eddie didn't take the penalty, to be honest with you. I thought that would have done him the world of confidence. I thought it would have done him the world of good, but I'd give Ramsey a 7. I thought he did well. Rowe, I'd give a 9. I think he was our man of the match personally. Out of all the young players, you can see he's got that bit more, experience, because he's been in and around the first team a bit more than the others so far this season, and that kind of showed. And, he's just such a great player. He can play anywhere across that, that free attacking midfield positions. He played out on the left, looks decent there. He played he can play in the middle in that 10 role, and even towards the end of the game, he went out to the right hand side, and I thought he had a good game. And I'll give him a 9, and for me he'd be the man of the match. Up front, Eddie and Nketiah. It was a shame he didn't get a goal. Other than that, some of his link up play and stuff, some of the way he takes other opposition players on was absolutely fantastic. From what I see of him, I think I've seen a lot of other Arsenal fans say that some of the things he does is kind of similar to what we see Lacazette do, and maybe he's taken some things from Lacazette which he's seen in training, training with him on a weekly basis, which he has been now for probably more than the last 6 months. So I believe he's definitely got a good future, and I definitely think that especially with Welbeck being out, I expect him to get a lot more minutes, especially over this December, January period, where we're going to have quite a lot of games that, coming in thick and fast. Going into the substitutions, Who do we have come on? Medley, he looked quite, composed at centre-half. And one thing I have to say about him, which is probably why he was on the bench for the Premier League game some time ago when we were short on defenders, one thing that he brings us a lot different to a lot of our other defenders is that, he's left-footed. We don't actually have like a left-footed defender. And, and he looks like quite a decent player. And I think, if he's nurtured and coached right, he could become a good talent also. We also had Gilmour come on. Didn't really have much time to do much, but I'd give him a 6. And we had Saka, who looked quite decent going forward. You can see the confidence in him to take on opposition players. And, I think these sort of players should definitely play our last Europa League game, which will be against Karabag in a couple of weeks' time. I think that, he deserves probably a game from the start as, a natural wide player. But, in total, I'd give him a 6 out of 10 as well. I thought it was a very good performance. I thought that a lot of those players there, in a sense, they must have been told from the get-go, we're going to keep up this unbeaten run. And, it's very unlikely any of them was going to, break into that first team squad for the next week or so. But, a lot of them definitely showed what they are capable of. And, potentially if they're training right, keeping up the good performance, keeping up the good methods of training, they'll definitely be given some more opportunities in the first team soon, I can say. For the game yesterday, I'd have to give Emery him a 10 as a manager, because he took a very young squad there. I still expected us to win, but maybe not in that sort of, fashion. It was made quite easy for us. And, he's definitely doing a lot with his team in terms of taking us forward. And now it goes into the big game against Spurs on Sunday, which, I'll be doing a video for. So, make sure that you're subscribed. And, that's all from me for today. To those of you that haven't subscribed, ensure you do hit the notification button, and there'll be more videos from me to come.